Welcome back. I just wanted to make a quick weekend update video. And last week we discussed a potential move up to the trend line, and we had a pretty subdued week, not really plus or minus. So this week would have more volatility in store. So I'm still primarily assuming we do hit the top of this trend line before any further decline, right? And that would kind of align with the fact that the dollar would, come down to retest this long-term trend line and possibly bounce higher. And again, you can see right now the dollar pretty much bounced up to the previous area of support, right? And now we're kind of rejecting that. So it'll be interesting to see if we follow through to the downside. And the reason for that is over the last 50 years, Thanksgiving week has always, kind of been positive, like 0.7, 0.8%. So I'd be surprised if we actually end, major US holiday on a red note. But yeah, in a different kind of perspective, this trend line and this trend line are kind of different with respect to the fact that, this I've used the outermost points, right? Versus on this, I've let this, be a fake breakout with a fake breakout. And you could kind of make the case that since it's against these EMAs, right, the decline could kind of already start off, right? And again, that would imply that the dollar would, have to break over this 107 point, how much is this? 107, 108 almost, right? Break over 108 to continue further. So still don't think this is more likely. I'm still of the opinion it's probably going to push up at least to that trend line, right? Before we come down further. However, there is another bull case that I have mentioned, right? And that would kind of align with seasonality, right? Where this entire move is actually your Y wave, right? And we still have like upside to like 4,300. And again, that would kind of imply with the seasonality index that we have been watching, right? And again, the reason for that is you can see the Dow is almost broken this previous wave high level, right? And we know that the banks are kind of putting in a B wave. So a lot of sectors, I am kind of seeing this B wave move. So that's the reason I'm keeping a track of this as well, right? I'm watching to see if this actually gets rejected or not, right? This would primarily be the first level that I'd be watching to see if it gets rejected or not, right? So yeah, I'm keeping an eye, dollar is pretty much the new wick. So I'm keeping a close eye on the dollar to see if it follows through to the downside to kind of have a bullish Thanksgiving week. And the wicks we also know is kind of in this pennant, right? So if we do, break below 22, then the next level of support is honestly near this trend line, right? 19, 18.7. So it's got a long way down for the wicks, and that's honestly pretty possible. So it's not something I am watching, but it'll be interesting to see how the wicks plays out. And the 10-year hit that channel, and I am still watching to see if it comes down to like 3.6 and holds, right? Alternatively, the green path is if the rates have topped, which I doubt they have, right? But I'm still think a little more downside is still possible in this wave four, given how short duration the wave one was. So yeah, broader picture, it's kind of my thinking based on seasonality, etc. With that being said, one of the stocks I am interested in is kind of Tesla, and just because it's kind of lagging with the rest of the market. And if I go to the weekly chart of Tesla, you guys can see that this major demand zone, right? And it has a major fib level. So as long as it stays over 174, I still feel like a minimum should be able to, go up and test 200, 230. And again, I would like it to break over, 181 to break this downtrend, right? Then at least, 190 to 100 is possible. So yeah, kind of what I'm watching on Tesla. And again, I do have a bigger bull case on Tesla, but again, that would kind of be dependent on a lot of factors, right? Where this would be my A wave, my B wave, and my C wave to come up, right? And again, that would be the bigger C wave if the market, right, if the indexes do this bull case as well. But for now, I think at minimum, it should be able to test 200 if 200 breaks 230. So that's the reason I'm kind of watching Tesla. And the next one on this list is actually Clorox. The reason for that is one of the sectors that perform really well is like good services, right? They do really well weeks of Thanksgiving, like household goods. So that's why, and Clorox looks very interesting because you can see kind of gone sideways, major area of resistance. So if it does break this level, it should be able to run up to like 168, right? So that's like a nice $18 move on Clorox, 5%. So I thought it would be an interesting stock to keep an eye on this week. And the next one is actually DAL. And again, I do have both a bull case and bear case on DAL. The bear cases, you can see this is a major trendline resistance, right? And so it does look like it could come down to retest 31 at least. So it's kind of what I have on DAL, right? Come down to 31.5, 31. pullback. Obviously, if it can break over, this level at 35.5, then it should have a very nice, healthy space to run up to 41. But yeah, as long as this trend line holds its resistance, I still see a down case for Alta. And so the next one is Alta, and I've spoken about this many times. It's kind of a long short play, right? Looking at 6 months out. So yeah, Alta, I could see it move up to the trend line at the most, but yeah, Alta is due, right? Very bearish consolidation distribution is due for a big move down. So that's the reason I have, Alta put on this week's watch list. And the last one that I have is actually Amazon, right? And for Amazon, what we're actually not Amazon. I was gonna do Amazon, but I thought too much tech. The last one I have is actually Procter and Gamble. Again, another consumer kind of product type of play, right? You can see this fib is the 0.5, which has acted as support and resistance, so major zone. Same kind of like Clorox, right? Break over 143, should be able to run up to the next fib level. So yeah, it is looking pretty healthy consolidation, right? Although it has been pretty green, right, for a few weeks. So it will be interesting to see if it puts in another green week. So that's what I have. And I can go over Amazon as well, right? Bigger picture, Amazon, right? It's kind of the broadening wedge pattern that we have on Amazon. And you can see that we've gone up, right? Gone to put in an inside week. This, not an inside week, it's kind of like an outside inside week. But yeah, I am looking to see Amazon clearly, again, same as Tesla, has a downturn, right? Break the downturn, we'll have a pretty healthy pop, and then we can kind of see it, right? The bull would be, right, that it pops back up to 118. That would be the bull. The bear would be a pop up to, let's say, 99, 100 before it comes down further. So yeah, Amazon kind of looks interesting for a pop as well. So that's all I wanted to kind of update. I hope you have a great